Timing! There's supposed to be a 10-second delay. Maybe. Can anyone see me on the YouTube side? Say something in the chat. Hey, there I am. All right, let's see. So there's a 10-second delay on the stream. Just to let everyone know. All right, so there's not very many people in here right now. So can y'all see the poll on the YouTube side? There's supposed to be a poll on what type of water you fish the most often. Tell me in the live chat, please. All right, perfect. As long as it's there. As long as it's there. It's a good thing that it's there. I can't see it on my phone's end. I don't know how to check that. Maybe I need like an alt or something. Well, hopefully more people will pop in, but let's see. So far, it says there's 2 people in here, but only one person is actively chatting, and that is Alex. Maybe I got YouTube running on my phone right here. You see, there's lag, as y'all can see here. So that's funny, but I mean, it's not popping up. Maybe I'll like close the stream on my phone, refresh, and see if that'll do it. No. Oh well. That was loud. Let's set that over there. I'll be watching the chat. If you see any bots, please blast them. No, Alex. No. Let's see. Let me get this set up. Maybe tie some flies today. Probably tie some flies today, actually. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. While we're waiting on people to get in here, let's tie some flies up. If anyone has any questions, I will do my best to answer them. This is supposed to be about fishing, so questions are definitely asked for. You know, it could be about anything: freshwater, saltwater, brackish. I do less freshwater than I do saltwater, but I can help a little bit, and what I may know may not work in your area, but it may at the same time, so it never hurts to ask. All you have to do is ask, and I will try and help. All right, so let's see. Just try. Here we go. Here's some orange threading here. This kind of sucks. Sorry, Alex. I thought there would be more people in here. That way maybe you could grow your channel. As a mod, you can share links. That is something you can do. So I do ask you to share other people's channels. You're definitely allowed to. So like you can share Off the Hook, Sunfish King, people like that. or really anyone who comes in that has a channel, you can share your own channel link. It doesn't bother. Just please do not spam the chat. That is the one thing I do ask, is not to spam the chat. You know, with only one person in here, it is pretty easy to like read chat, but the other day I had a live with 7, and it was definitely starting to get difficult to keep up in chat. I don't know how people do it with like 20 people in there. It just blows my mind completely. Let's see. Hurry up here. Tying flies wasn't the original plan for today, but there's something to pass the time while more people come in. You know, it never hurts to have a few more options for the bass spawn. Hey, Hashi. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Well, now it says there's 3 people in here. Yeah, if anyone has any questions about fishing, I'm more than open to try and help. I can't guarantee I will know the answer, but I will definitely try. Let's see, y'all can see that. Maybe move this here would be easier. There, I can tell y'all the sizes too. No, I have not, Hashi. And I'm probably saying your name wrong, and I apologize for that. I do not have the best. Oh, something happened. Sorry, as long as y'all can still see me. Y'all can still see me. No. Let's see. Yeah, if y'all have any questions about fishing, I'm more than open. So right now, while we're waiting on some more people or even some questions, let's see. Right now, what I'm thinking about tying is a marabou fly for bass during the spawn. So I have a chartreuse lead eye, so I can sort of see it there, on the bottom of the hook, which will cause the hook to sit just like this in the water column, the top of the hook facing up. That way, when the bass do come to eat it, the hook isn't in the mud. You know, it increases my hookup ratio. It'll increase or decrease the probability of getting snagged on something like a rock on the bottom, trying to bounce it onto the bed. It'll increase just the probability of use, you know, and it's good to have some flies tied where the hook sits downwards, because sometimes with a moving fly, that's what you want. But in this case, specifically for the bass spawn, it is not. And hopefully, I'll be able to get out, do some videos on that here soon. Everyone got sick in the family for spring break, which sucks because we had plans to go fishing a few times. I got out once a few days ago and had one gar, but nothing to make a video out of it. Dropped the bait. Let's see, there's 3 pieces of marabou. I need to restock on my marabou. It's getting low. So here in a minute, we're going to start the fly. I also have bucktail, but I don't particularly like using bucktail as much as marabou. I think marabou just looks nicer in the water, personally. So, using marabou always makes a mess, though. That's the only problem with it. So we're going to start the fly like always. You start at the top, wrap around a few times, get a little bit of a head built up. Then you bring it back, not wanting to build up a whole ton of a body. Trying to keep it thin. Sometimes you can drop it, squeeze it down to make sure the threads are tight. Yeah, I enjoy fly fishing, Show Me Creeks. I am not a fly or die person, as my intro says. I'm not going to go, if it won't eat a fly, I don't want to catch it. That's not how I believe a fisherman should be. I believe fly fishing is a tool, just like having a lure, a special lure. It's something I need to use to my advantage, and the second it starts to become a disadvantage, you need to change it. It's personally the way I look at it. You always want to have the leg up if you can. You don't want to limit yourself. I do enjoy catching fish on the fly, and if given the option, knowing I'm going to catch the fish no matter what, I would prefer catching on the fly. Show Me Creeks, I don't use soft plastics as much as I know I should. I've kind of gotten into it more recently with my Cinco mold and my soft plastic crab mold, but I still don't use it like I should. I know they're effective. It's just not something I actively use as much as I should. Hey, Spider Steve. That still amazes me that there really is a Spider Steve after giving MoDog so much crap for it. All right, so we're going to tie in the marabou right back here. We're going to do 1 loose wrap, 2 loose wrap, 3 loose wrap. Pull out a little bit. Make sure it's lined up and even on each side, how we want it. And we're going to tighten down on it. Bring it back, tightening up. 2. I don't have any head cement, otherwise I'd probably use that to finish off the fly. But I'm just going to do 3 whip finishes. They're all good, and if one of them isn't as, say, trustworthy as the others, I'll do a 4th. It'd probably be fine just with the just with 2, but I don't want it to get ruined. Spider Steve, I am tying I guess it wouldn't be considered a streamer in the applications I plan on using it, but a streamer style fly. It's going to have chartreuse bead eye, lead bead eyes, and I'm going to be using it for bass flying. I'm going to be hopping it onto the bed. The eyes are going to sit right here underneath the hook to keep the hook shank up. And the hook shank up will keep it exposed for the fish, which will be good. Come by and trim some of this stuff here because we are placing multiple pieces of marabou to keep it thick. You want it thick, good, but you don't want to hit your yarn. Let's see if I angle my laptop down some. Will that help? It appears to. Hey, Laugh, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you in here. Doing some fly tying real quick. If anyone has any fishing questions, drop it in the chat. And the title of this stream is Talking About Fishing. I can't guarantee I'll know the answer to whatever you're asking, but if I don't, maybe someone else in the chat does know, or I'll tell you what I do know. Junkies works on Fish King. That'll be the poll on the next live. What do y'all want to be called? The Junkies? Let's see. Get this pulled back. One piece would probably be enough, Marabou, for this, but I do want to build up a bit more of a body. We'll do one on the top. Let's see, so build up a bit more of a head, get it more symmetrical. I have not been out on the water to see if the bass spawn has started here. My dad thinks it'll start up in about 2 to 3 weeks. So maybe a bit longer. But I personally don't know. I haven't been out to see. This is my first year really doing bass fishing like I'm planning to. I'm hoping to at least. So let's see. One on this side here. One over here. Yeah, so that's good for it. This is going to take up 3 pieces of Marabou. If you see me leaning to the side, that's just leaning into my trash can right here. One loose wrap, 2 loose wraps, 3. We'll move it back to where it's supposed to be. So we're here. Oop. It's supposed to. Oh, and it fell through. Whatever. Just grab it. The fibers. Try again. God. Show me, Creeks, you're definitely a better fisherman than I am. I'd be very pleased to get on 20 fish in a day that are real fish. Let me trim this up a little bit more just right here, and I'll sweep this off here in a minute. Try to keep all these fibers as even as possible. One, 2, 3. Let's start. Try and get it positioned how I want it. That's it there. And we're going to tighten down on it again. Using it to build up a bit of a body. You know, give a nice sturdy spot for the eyes to sit on. Hey, nephew, how's it going? Nice to see you in here. And if anyone wants to talk about fishing, that is the point of this live, and I would very much like to. Just pop any questions in the chat that you might have, or even if it's just you want to talk about what's happening around you right now. I know some people, the bass spawn is starting up pretty soon, you know. All right, so we're going to add on this third piece of Marabou here. There we go. Get it on nice and tight. Jill, at least you're fishing. I was hoping to fish a few times over spring break. Then I came home last Friday with a terrible headache from school. Ran a fever for 2 days, kicked it, and then the day I started feeling better, my dad and little sister started running fever, of course, so that's just how that works. Sometimes, I guess. So I have a nice thick head on this fly. So Spider Steve, if you go over, let me make sure I'm telling you how to do it right. Go over to YouTube, looking on my end to make for sure too. Here in a minute, once I get done telling Spider Steve this, we'll add the bead eyes onto this. Let's see. You go over to your icon. You can go to your channel, and you could customize channel. And I'll take you to the YouTuber Creator Studio on, if you're on a laptop or PC. Not sure how to do it on your phone. I've forgotten. That's how I did it the first time, though. And then it'll be in the top left corner here. I'll share it on here. Screen. Let's see. Window. Maybe Chrome tab. Maybe. Oh, let's see. We'll just share entire screen so y'all see this for a minute, which will look all sorts of weird. And you go over to channel customization. Hopefully y'all can see this. And it'll be right here, your channel. I think this is how you do it. My laptop takes forever to load. Nope, obviously I did it wrong. Alright, someone else help him out. I'm lost too now. Alright, we're going to stop sharing the screen and go back to finishing up this fly. This head should be built up enough now. There's a lot of fiber. Just want to make for sure everything's tight. And you could leave it just like this. You could finish it off, and this would be a working fly. But for what I want, I'm going to be using this for bed fishing. So I'm going to add the chartreuse lead eyes. So up here on the front, we're going to add this on pretty tight. That's sort of on. And we're going to secure it with X-wraps just around the loops. Make sure it's straight first. Once it's straight, more evened out, go through, you X-wrap it. And that'll secure it down really tight. Push it back. Right. All right, then we're going to bring it back a little bit. Try and even out the head to where before it narrowed down. Now we're going to even it out. So, get going, get everything tight, get it looking pretty on here. Sorry for my hands covering up the majority of everything too. I normally enjoy holding the physical fly while I tie it. It just adds that extra support. Alright, there's the finished thing. Let's see. So now we're going to take the whip finish tool. Let's see. Through like this. It's kind of hard to see. You can sort of see it using my face as a blocker, where it creates a triangle. One, two, ooh, not good. There. 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6. I did it a little bit wrong. Looks like 6 is what we're getting off. Something messed up. Let's see. Let's undo that. Oh, I see what happened where it messed up. Now, let's try and do this carefully so I don't mess up the entire fly. We won't count that as a whip finish, but all these fibers back so they're not in the way. We're going to do the second one. Hopefully this one will be like a real whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 5 for this one. Yeah. Pull this one through. This would be a lot easier if I had a better vise too. This is just like the $20 Cabela's vise I got here. And their fly tying tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7. Pull it back through, pull it tight. There we go. Make sure it's fully tight. And we're going to get it relatively close without messing it up. And there's this fly. So as you see here, it's got the 2 shorter sides, which then open up like this, and the one longer one that comes off the bottom. The bead eyes will make it sit. This isn't the best representation. Just like this, hook point up on the bottom. Hopefully y'all can see this all right. Versus if I were to tie it, I might have some up here actually. That way I can show y'all the difference. The actual difference. I've never been the best at explaining things, so here's one. So here's something very similar. Big bushy fly with marabou. I think this one's tied with 4 pieces of marabou. But as you see, the lead eyes are on the bottom of the hook, not the top. And so what that does is with the weight of the hook here, it keeps it like this in the water. So let's see if I show. It sits like that. That fell over. It rightened itself back up. So that's what that'll do. And so with this is a good fly if I'm going to be working it fast, maybe in the surf. If I'm working it fast in the surf, or even not so fast, there's not much for it to get snagged on. So it having that upside down hook facing downwards is all right. It's okay for it to be like that. But with something like this, which I'm going to be actively crawling on the bottom, you want that hook up. You want the hook to be facing upwards. You want it to have less chance of getting snagged on something. If you're sight fishing redfish, you're going to want to have a hook that's upturned. That way you're not going to get snagged on oysters or trying to work it slow on the bottom for them, since they are a species of drum. They prefer bottom. They eat crustaceans, things along those lines. So you're going to want that on the bottom. And that's all right, Sunfish King. I'm just glad to have y'all in here. If anyone wants to come up on panel, I got my laptop working, so no spider Steve. So ideally, this bait's going to be for bedding bass in some ponds, and maybe Friendswood Lake. Still a sight fishing fly, nevertheless. It could even be blind casted, but with the upturned hook, the idea is crawling it on the bottom onto beds for bass. It's not a saltwater hook. This is a freshwater Gamakatsu size 1 hook, but this fly would nevertheless work in freshwater mostly, or saltwater. I disagree, Spider Steve. I am a saltwater guy through and through, heart to the heart. Hey, Fishing with Clayton, how's it? Clayton the Fishing Nut. Sorry, it has been one of those days, guys. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you and have you in here. Might have some other things. So I got some bucktail up here and some Chanel. I might try and tie a little fly. Let's see if I have my feathers. So I can tie. Let's see. Do I have the orange one still, or is it just black? I do have some orange ones. All right. There's one orange one here. I've already clipped that though, so that's not going to be too good. Got some brown ones. I can do that. Let's see. Still got the original bags. Let's see. Do a little bead eye fly or something like that. Let's see. Got some of this. So this will be a little bit more feather preparation. No, Clayton, I don't target gaff tops. I know people eat them. I'm not a fan of them at all, though. No, Sunfish King, they really don't. I think, let's see, I can pull up the Texas state record gaff top. Gaff top definitely get larger than hard heads. That still don't mean they get big. They're not like their freshwater counterparts that get 80 pounds. I mean, I'd be shocked if the gaff tops get over 20 pounds. I'd be surprised if they get over 50, actually. Let's see where I'm at least. Texas state record. Texas Park and Wildlife. Hey, Dan, how's it going? All the way from Australia. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah. Gaff top sail catfish. 13.33 pounds, 34 inches long. The hard head only got to 4 pounds, under 5. So, I mean, in Texas, Saltwater catfish don't get over 15 pounds. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think I actually have anything to cut you guys upstairs on me right now. Going through all my little cubbies. Yeah, I guess this sort of works. This isn't what it's meant for, but there we go. Well, I broke 3 off. That's not what I want. Let's see. Dang it. 3's definitely too many for bead eyes. Flatten it. Break it off like that. I don't know, Spider Steve. I don't even know if he's been in here today. Something kind of tells me he hasn't been. I think I'd remember. Nice, Clayton. Cutlass fish. There we go, finally. So just let me get a better hold of them. Little chain bead eyes. This might take me a few minutes to get set up properly to fit the size changing hooks. This is a Mustang Egg K size 6 hook that I'm about to be using, so it's probably going to be pretty hard for y'all to see. I typically have a harder time tying little stuff, but I also typically use little stuff more. So, and I don't particularly enjoy buying flies because they break the bank pretty fast, considering I like to throw them into trees a lot. I mean, that's for it. It's holding it a bit loose, though. Let's tighten that up some. That might be too tight there, but let's see. As long as it doesn't want to let go of it, that's pretty good. All right, so we got just a red barred feather here. Well, I guess I already put everything up, so I gotta pull everything back out. Hey, Native Wild Man, nice to see you in here. Do I want to do it orange thread? Do I want to do it in a different color? Let's see. Right, how about I ask y'all? So, guys, I got off the screen orange thread and blue thread. Which would y'all prefer? I think I got chartreuse too. Yeah, I got some chartreuse. It's a little bit dirty. It's kind of hard for y'all to see. Thank you very much, Dan. That would definitely benefit me a lot. I'm not begging for subscribers or y'all to share out. I'm happy y'all are able to come in here and chat and hang out with me. So what do y'all say? Chartreuse, orange, or blue? It is solely up to y'all. Orange might go better with the barred orange feather, but at the same time, blue or chartreuse might make it pop. It is solely up to y'all. Blue. Native Wild Man says blue, so we're going blue. Get out here. Pull it through. Get this through real fast. Flip it. Hey, Jeremy. Nice to see you. Or I guess, should I say pork chop? That seems to be what you want to be called. There. That might be the issue. Let's pull this through, get some nice line on it. All right. So, that offset to the side. Jeremy, right now, I'm just going to be tying a little bead eye fly. If I can find the bead eyes I broke off. There they are. There they are. Need to clean up my desk after this. This is getting a little messy over here. Let's see. All right, so to clip off the feather here. Get tied up nice. All right, so this will be the end result for the tail, and that might need trimmed down some more. Again, this is a size 6. I don't got the package out anymore, but I remember it being size 6. I think it was a mustad hook. And I know if some of y'all tie regular flies, or even Jeremy, he ties jigs, y'all might be cringing at this. I am definitely not a professional at this, but I do enjoy it. Bring it down pretty low. Bring it back up. We want to grab our feather, red feather. We're just going to place it on here. And I don't have trout around me since I am in Texas. The only place you can really catch them is the Guadalupe, and like one other spot year round. So this is mostly going to be for panfish, little bass, which aren't particularly too picky. That's pretty cool, native. Native. I just tie flies. Tied a jig or two, but I don't enjoy it as much. I don't fish jigs as much either. If I used them more, I'd probably enjoy it quite a lot. I use all the flies I tie pretty regularly. Ladyfish have thrown some hand-tied flies at like sharks too. So we got this here. Probably take off a little bit of that there. We're going to put this probably on the bottom, same as the last one. Not for the same reason, though. I'll put this on the top. It's easier to do on the top, plus it looks better. That is too close to the front, though. Let's pull that off of there. Right now. There we go. Popped it off. Let's move it back some. Still move to the front a lot, but it gives me a lot more room to work with. Same thing. X wraps on this to secure it. It's moving right now, though. It's not good, so I might have to not do X wraps. I might have to kind of wiggle this. Again, I don't do small stuff like next to it all. Does that make sense? Yeah, I use flies for just about anything. I haven't gotten on a redfish yet, But then again, I've only gone out twice for redfish, wading the bays. Right there. Those bead eyes are loose, but they'll have to work. There's too much more, and I go over the eye, and I don't want that. I mean, I'll just push them back into place too. Again, this isn't for trout or anything like that that's picky. This is going to be for maybe some little stuff in saltwater, but I doubt it. Probably more for bluegill, green sunfish, little itty bitty bass. I could throw this for gar. They'd probably eat it. Yeah. Yeah, Native. You know what, Native? Let me make you a mod real fast so you can share that. You're a pretty good guy. I've seen you in several lives before. You've been in both of my live streams, so having been in lives with you in the live chats, I see no reason not to trust you. You seem like a very good guy. Yeah, you should be in mod now, buddy, so you can share that link if you would like to, and you can share other people's links too. It's solely up to you. All right. That's the last slide. I gotta stop and stick to what this is supposed to be, which is talking about fishing. So that one, y'all close up once I put up some of this stuff. Let y'all get a good look at it. I need to get a better setup for this. If I win that camera in the Sunfish King giveaway, it'll help out a lot. But if I don't, I might have to spend some money buying some stuff for this, and probably buying StreamYard too. I'm just using the free version right now. So here's this right now. That'll all go straight in the water like that. Plus, like I said, the things I'm using this for aren't picky, so thankfully. Otherwise, I'd be having some issues tying flies. Again, I'm not necessarily skilled at it. I can't tie like the bonefish flies, the crab flies, stuff like that. I've tried tying a shrimp and it turned out all right, but it wasn't good. So back to what the stream was supposed to be about, talking about fishing. What do y'all want to talk about? Give me a subject and I'll be talking about it. I'll tell you what I know, what I do, things like that. What I do to find that fish, how I find that fish. Do I let that fish come to me? Do I try and sight fish that fish? Completely up to y'all. It could be saltwater, it could be freshwater, it could be brackish. It could be predatory, it could be non-predatory. Solely up to y'all. And if someone wants to come up, I'm on my laptop so I can share it. And we can talk about fishing there. Thank you, Jeremy. It's a little wonky, but getting there. I think that is his spinner. That's pretty cool, Jeremy. I'll definitely go through and watch more of your videos. Let's see. Add a comment real fast. Cool. And if y'all don't give me anything to talk about, I will, I guess, just take a, guess on something I enjoy fishing for. Uh, Go like 10, 20 minutes. And, or not 10, 20 minutes, probably 30, 40 seconds. Native, you can come up on the phone if you want to. We'll talk about whatever fishing you do, or if you want me to talk about something, just give me a subject. Uh, I'm not as big of a fan as planning out what you want to talk about because I find it too easy to get sidetracked. I like rolling with the flow and going with it. So I didn't have anything planned other than I wanted to talk about fishing, maybe tie a few flies, you know, base it a little bit around fly fishing, talk about what I do for certain fish for fly fishing, or maybe what I might do. I haven't tried everything. I've only been fly fishing 2 years now, so you don't know. And someone drop the name of a species, a style of fishing. I'll talk about what I've done, what success it's had, and so on. Or I may not have anything on it. I've been trying for a carp for 2 years now, which to some people that sounds crazy that I haven't caught a carp in that amount of time, but I've only gone out maybe a dozen and a half times to catch a carp. I don't chum. I've used spinning gear to fly fish before, but I've never. Uh, I did it once or twice with mild success for panfish, throwing little flies on a spinning rod. But I got a fly rod not too long after realizing that flies can be pretty effective for sunfish, and just kind of went from there. Thank you, Jeremy. There's only like 4 people in here right now, but thank you. Uh, Yellow is a good color for carp. That doesn't surprise me. Yellow is a good color for a lot of things. I guess. Yep, Jeremy, that is 100% true. Every light counts. Hey, Off the Hook, how are you doing? So, guess we're talking about carp now. So last summer, I got one shot at a buffalo. I don't know if it was a largemouth or a smallmouth, but I was drifting a black woolly bugger past 2 of them that were staged up feeding in the current. And after a while of drifting and not getting any luck, I couldn't drift it right. And I mean, they were in knee deep water and their backs were sticking out of the water, so I couldn't let the fly line touch them or they'd spook. I walked about 20 feet in front of them. So I did a U almost in front of them, more of a C from parallel to them to in front of them. And I just slowly sat there and let fly line out until I got my fly. Since it was crystal clear water, I could see it. I watched it and I got it perfectly under the cart. And I was sitting there for probably 2 minutes. I figured it hadn't eaten because I didn't see any movement to indicate that it would have eaten. I went to pick up my fly because turning to the left, I saw a smallmouth starting to cruise. Downstream, someone had probably spooked it kayaking. I was going to pick up my fly and try and land it 5-6 feet behind it, so the stream would take it along with the streaming in the black woolly bugger to try and get its attention. And I felt weight pulling it up, and I trout set a 20-pound fish, basically. That's not what you want to do. And so I pulled the hook right out of his mouth. Right out of his mouth. I didn't even move the fish. That's pretty cool, Nato. I have not caught a catfish on the fly yet. Brown's a pretty good color, too. I've only owned 2 woolly buggers, but I've liked them both. I had an olive woolly bugger, which has my personal best bass on the fly on it, which was like a half-pound bass. I don't catch many bass. But, I mean, that's only a pound less than my personal best on spinning gear, which is 1.5 pounds. And then I had the black, which is what worked for all my smallmouth on the fly last summer, as well as this buffalo. But that's the only time I've come close to hooking a buffalo or carp on the fly. I've hooked a few carp on regular spinning gear, but they've all shook the hook. I think I've had one that broke me off, 2 shake the hook, and then I set the hook too early on, I think, 3. And they just didn't have it. Oh, well. Gold is a good color. Gold's a good color, too. Gold is what we use for redfish. We, just the regular golden spoons, the Johnson Sprite spoons, and that's what we use for redfish for the most part. If I go out knowing I want to be targeting redfish, blind casting, wade fishing, a gold spoon's going to be my first pick. It's become a confidence bait over the years. I think Silver Spoon currently has my personal best speckled trout. And it's not necessarily because it's better than something like a Corky or a down south paddle tail or a fluke. It's just because I throw it. And you can't catch fish on what you don't use. And I use spoons a lot. Freshwater, saltwater, everywhere. Let's see. Channel catfish is another fish that people have mentioned in the chat, so I'll talk a little bit about catfish, I guess. I'm not a huge catfish fisherman. Hopefully, pretty soon I'll be able to get into more catfish. Recently, around me, I'll pull up some photos I have on my phone. I've started to catch them in relative numbers around me at Friendswood Lake, but I haven't been able to get out to even catch any, period. So let's see. Oh, the glare is terrible. I sight fished that fish with worms. Was just tossing in because I spent money on a pack of 10 worms. Wasn't going to save them, so I was just tossing them. Yes, drum are related to redfish. They're in the same species. Speckled sea trout are also related to redfish. They're in the drum family, even though you wouldn't ever guess it looking at them. So hopefully soon I'll have some more catfishing and maybe even some catfishing content. I got this Jules catfish bait that I'm going to try and use and give some good reviews. This is a company ran solely by veterans. I think it's 2 guys that run it. This guy's dad used to run it. And it's ran by veterans. That's pretty cool. Something about it. There's starting to be a lot more things that are ran by veterans because of Afghanistan in America, but it's still pretty cool. Definitely something to support if you can find something that's made by veterans, ex-veterans. I always try and buy that personally. Hey, Outdoor Jack, what's up? But hopefully some more catfish stuff coming. I don't have it on me and it's raining, so I'm not going to go get it. But I've got a catfish rod. I think it's a medium heavy 6'6" Shakespeare sturdy stick. And then I got the Shakespeare ATPS reel on it with a giant oversized fighting handle. The lake eye fish up in Oklahoma, Lake Fort Gibson, has some pretty big catfish in it. One time, I think I was probably 6. We were out there swimming. This was at the point I didn't have a fishing rod up there because the distance from Texas to Oklahoma, and when we go up, we stay 2 weeks at my Nana's house. 2 weeks to sometimes more. And so I could never bring a rod up. My mom wouldn't allow me. And 2 guys came down and they checked their little hole. They obviously knew where it was on this rock jetty, and they pulled out what was probably a 40-pound flathead. And after seeing that, every time I've wanted to put big live baits around that for catfish like that. And I wouldn't keep a catfish that size. I ended up keeping it, but still so cool. Outdoor Jack, I fish for bass, but I am a very, very, at best, mediocre bass fisherman. My personal best is like 1.5 pounds, which for some areas, upper state, that may be all right. But for Texas, that's nothing special. The Texas state record is like 18.5 pounds out of Lake Fork, I think. I may be wrong. Bass are fun to catch if you can catch them native wild, man. I can't ever catch them. Do that. Sometimes I'm not a great bass fisherman by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, at least you're catching fish, chill. I mean, I'd like to go out and catch some fish, but like I said, everyone in the family's sick. It's been windy. My dad's been feeling better, but today it's been raining, so there's maybe to catch them good, Outdoor Jack. I don't particularly know next to nothing about bass, and I still catch some. I think last year I caught like 35 total bass. Yeah, Jeremy, I fish for anything. That's my excuse. Is I can catch just about anything, but I can't catch anything consistently. I'm not good at catching anything, but I can catch just about anything. Native wild man, I did not know that Texas has the world record blue catfish. I was not aware of that. Outdoor Jack, I mean, if you would like to come up on panel and talk about bass fishing, you are more than welcome to come up and talk about bass fishing. Or if you just want to talk and chat about bass fishing, I will 100% listen. I'm always up to try and learn. I would like to learn some more about bass fishing. I'd like to have more opportunities to get out and bass fish. Yeah, Jeremy, I can't catch crappie for the life of me either. Last year was the first year I've ever caught a crappie, and I just caught one. All right, Outdoor Jack, I don't know how much longer I'm going to run, but if you're in a spot you could come up, or maybe another time, you're definitely invited. Same thing for anyone else in chat. If you would like to come up and you can. Jeremy, I bet you got a boat. I ain't got a boat. I got a kayak that gets used maybe 3 times a year. It's supposed to be a fishing kayak, but I have obviously not been blessed with the skill to fish out of it. I go to paddle parallel to the bank, make a cast, and then the cast like drags the front of the kayak almost, it seems, half the time. Outdoor Jack, if you want to, you can. It's solely up to you. Supposedly at Friendswood Lake, which is a lake I plan on fishing more with the kayak, they have crappie. I don't have a depth finder or fish finder on it though, so I don't know how I'd be able to locate them on an underwater structure other than locating a tree by losing a lure or two. I don't want to lose lures, but I mean, if it'll catch me slab crappie, I'll sacrifice little. Thank you for sharing links, Native Bald Man. I had a mod in here, one of my friends earlier, who's on my robotics team, but he may still be in here. He may be lurking, but I don't think he is. I think he got bored and headed out. You know, he was maybe going to come up on panel, but I might shoot him a text here in a minute. Beg him to come up on panel. Just help get the talk flowing. I'm not a particularly social guy, so doing yeah, see, he's still watching. Alex, would you like to come up on panel? I can share, invite, copy and paste link. Come on, Alex. Come on. There's 6 people in here. They're all good people. Come on, Alex. You and me can show off the robot. I got the robot over there locked up in my closet so my cat don't eat it. Come on. You know you want to. You'll be the first person to ever come on panel. We could talk about the robot, Alex. Come on. Be the first person to come up on a Fish and Junk live stream. No one else has come up. Native, could you shout out Cornball Dada's channel? He does mostly gaming, and I know it's not exactly fishing, but he does have a robotics video. That's something else. If y'all want me to watch y'all's videos, I can do that. You know? I mean, whatever y'all would like to do. Alex, nah, I mean, if you want to treat it like that, sure, but you know that basically anything talking about the build is my thing. Too. There's the link, Alex. Click that on your phone. I'll go grab the robot. And you come up and we'll talk about it. All right. Just make sure to turn off YouTube when you come up. That way there's no echo. Let's see. Alright, guys, this is the 1919 7A robot. I need to find a better way to set this up here. Just turn the light off some, directly off of me so y'all can see it. Let's see. I guess here's a good shot for a front up view. This robot is ran off of 2 pneumatic piston claws, which drop down according to air pressure, which is held in tanks here in the back. Here you can see we have 2. And these each hold roughly 250 psi a piece. Oh, there's Alex. So let's see. Add to stream. Alex, you're muted and your camera's off.
I know, my internet's barely good enough to run this.
Try and turn on your camera. Try and turn on your camera. Let me up my volume so it's easier for me to hear you. There you are. Hey, Alex. Come on. Don't be shy. There's only 3 people in here now.
Still.
Just 3 people. So, guys, in case y'all probably don't know this, but Alex is the driver for the 1919 7A robotics team. We're going to World because he can drive so damn good. See Outdoor Jack, see Alex, kind welcomes. Outdoor Jack said, "What's up, Alex?" They love you. And your mic's off.
Oh, my hair is a bit sweaty from playing Beat Saber just now.
But yeah, so Alex, do you want to talk about it?
I don't know, I guess, driving can be pretty easy as long as you can think about the most effective way to do it, I guess.
So Alex is the builder. Our coder of the team has asked me not to mention his name on my YouTube channel in any way, shape, or form. But he is a pretty good coder. He is a pretty good coder. And
He also does
What, Alex?
He also does the journal, but we don't have the journal to show right now.
Actually, I do.
Oh, lovely.
We can show the journal off, but I'll have to cover his name to make sure I'm following his wishes. He doesn't want me talking about him on here. He invades his privacy. But so Alex is the driver and the part-time builder. He also helps scout for picking teams at the end of robotics. I'm the builder and the head scouter. So that's what I do. Let me go put this up. Alex, keep them entertained. Break physics. Do something.
A lot of the bloody different thing is me flipping the robot during the driving runs. I like to do that. And somehow it doesn't match. Yeah, a lot of efficiency because you have to going across the board to the other side.
You're cutting out for me, but let me plug in my headphones. You're probably just fine on the main screen. Let's see. There we go. Got my headphones in. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Oh, great. My headphones are not plugged in. There it goes. There it goes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. So, Alex, me being the builder, the robot is my baby. And he finds the scariest ways to not quite break it, but make it look like it should be broken. I've watched this man do backflips. Freaking backflips with a robot that's not supposed to be able to do backflips.
Mm-hmm.
But
And yet somehow break.
yeah, somehow these two fools and a genius has made it to World. So there's something at least. We've made it to World for robotics. I don't know how many of y'all know that. I've mentioned it a few times for one of the many excuses I'm going to be short on time for quite a while.
You might even be able to stream at World. You show people around.
I was thinking about that. You can too. If you want to, I'll actually I can hold your phone while you drive, but
Yeah, one sec. Let me grab something.
yeah, all right. There's been several people say they picked you up, meaning they've subscribed to you. All right, Native Wildman, I definitely will. Let's see. Just off
You
the top
offer.
of my head.
So I have this, and it goes around my neck, and it can just hold the phone. So
That's pretty
hold the
cool.
phone. Mm-hmm.
Alec, you're not supposed to wear that robotic shirt.
It's spring break. It's my comp.
Fair enough. So Alex, do you got any questions about fishing or anything you want to talk about fishing?
Maybe what kind of water is brackies?
What kind of water? What?
What kind of water is brackies or whatever it was?
Brackish?
Bracket. That's
So brackish is like, imagine a river that dumps into the ocean. After a certain point, it's not quite fresh water, but it's not quite salt water. It has its own tidal flow, ingoing and outgoing. So it's still connected to the ocean. It still has more salinity and enough salinity in the water to have saltwater fish in there, but it's not necessarily salt water. It's not pure salt water. So, like, there's some places here. So, like Dickinson Bayou over there, you could catch a shark out of there. You could catch a redfish, or you could catch a bass. So, like, you know the spot you and me fished over there by Three Hole Pond? The bayou right there? The speckled trout I caught that was like this big was a saltwater fish. But at the same time, you watched me catch a little bass out of that same spot. That is brackish water. There were blue crabs, there were bass, bluegill. I've seen people catch crappie out of there. But at the same time, you got some saltwater stuff. Sharks, redfish, speckled trout, flounder. You know, Native said he picked you up too. You're getting.
Waiting on him to stop talking so I can mention it, but I didn't want to interrupt him.
Yeah. See, coming up here was a good idea. I told you could promote your channel, even if it was amongst my 4 viewers.
I'm cutting out of it, but
Yeah, I wish you were here for the last live stream. The last live stream at one point, I think I had like 13 people in, which is crazy considering I only have like 77 subs.
I mean, that's still a lot of subs. I think I have like maybe 10 after this.
10. Solid number. I shot up to 86 the other night and then back down to 76 within 24 hours because YouTube's just like that. It steals your subs.
I guess it's unsub people for thinking it's bots because of how fast you're getting them.
Yeah. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I fish with Alex sometimes. I think, like, out of the past 10 times I've gone fishing, he's been in at least 2 of them, maybe 3. So, I mean, before last year, I hadn't fished with him hardly at all. But this year, we're picking that up. So, y'all are going to see him some. And Alex, if I have your permission, I can show some photos of you holding, like, catfish and stuff.
Sure, go ahead.
So like I showed y'all the photo of the catfish earlier. I took Alex out to the same spot and we slayed them. We caught 9 catfish. Of course, half of them were dinks like that one right there. I'm having issues centering it. were only like 10 inches long. I mean, this one's curved, so it's kind of harder to tell, but that was a pretty good catfish. You know, we were both out there catching catfish, having fun. We went out to a pond too, caught some nice, maybe half-pound bass, some bluegill. Is Alex on like a reddier? So that was pretty fun. If I'd had a GoPro at the time, I could have made some really good videos out of those. But oh well, I got them now. And hopefully this summer we can hit it. You know, set the world on fire, get some good content, get some good fishing in, catch some big fish. It's always the hope. You know, I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. You know. So Alex, do you want to promote your channel at all?
I guess I occasionally do some Hollow Knight videos, but I can't do them right now because PlayStation broke. So I might move on to Beat Saber, but you never know.
And one of your Beat Sabers are broken too.
I mean, yes, but I have found the solution. You drop multiple times. Throw on the ground as hard as you can, and it decides, I'm working now, please don't do that again.
Yeah. Well, if I don't live stream at World Everyone, I'll probably do a video on it. Something tells me it's going to be pretty awesome. You know, this will be my first year actually going to Worlds in person. Same for Alex. So our 7th grade year, COVID hit and it got canceled. Our 8th grade year, I was virtual and Worlds was held virtually. This year, we can do it. And that's pretty awesome, Native Wild Man. A 54-pound blue catfish. You obviously do either more catfishing than me or a lot more experience. It's one or the other. It's probably both. I've only tried to catch a big catfish twice, ever. Anything of that size, at least. Years ago, too. Hopefully this year I'll get one more. So let's see. Now there's one person watching. Alex, do you feel happy with your social anxiety? You scared everyone away. One fun, I had 7 people here, Alex.
Actually, twice.
Twice? Really?
Yeah.
Nice. You scared everyone away.
7 was the highest, but I didn't get past that.
Yeah. Yeah. Natives put more time into it. I'm limited simply by the fact I wasn't born sooner. I'm 15, not 43. I've fished my whole life being 15, and I fished pretty consistently. But you can't add time to where there is no time. Unless
you do it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been fishing since I was very little. I got photos of me when I was like 2 holding fish that I probably didn't even catch by myself. It was probably mostly my dad, and I decided to sit there and look pretty next to a fish, which is something I can't do now, but maybe Wild Man. I've accepted it. I'm lucky if I make it past 30.
Yeah, same for me. If I even make it.
But I don't necessarily have a suicide wish, but I mean, come on. How many fights can you have with a deer and get away? Which I can't legally say is still a plan. It is highly illegal to tackle a deer in the state of Oklahoma, so I cannot legally say I still want to do that. But
you can beat electronic up before electrocutes you.
Yeah. I need to go to Australia, so we were looking at the laws the other night in the Modog Live, and you can punch a kangaroo there legally. You can just walk up and punch them. Like, There's no law against it. It's not animal cruelty or anything like that.
I mean, it'd probably be self-defense, huh?
Exactly. So, fighting kangaroos, riding crocodiles. Sean Catfish Wilson. I don't have Facebook Native Wildman, so I'm pretty sure Native's the one person who's watching right now.
I mean, I would assume.
You are too?
Mhm.
Oh, you said you'd assume. Sorry, you're still a little lagging. I'm sure I am too.
But maybe.
There's only one person in here, but this is racking up watch hours.
Just gonna stay here and get a 10-hour watch time.
Well, so even though this is only gone for an hour 30 minutes, I'm sure I'm going to get like at least 4 watch hours out of it. I did one that was 55 minutes the other day, sometime over spring break. I think it was Tuesday. What's today, Alex?
Today's Thursday.
Monday, I think then. But I got like 4.5 watch hours from that, which is ridiculous. But I mean, that many people were watching for long enough, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do really appreciate it, Native, staying in here and talking to us two crazy buffoons. So,
It's good that we're able to stay this long and watch.
yeah. I mean, definitely helps. I probably would have left by now, too, so I don't blame you if you want to go. And he stopped chatting for the past 4 minutes, so something tells me he has left. Oh, no, he's still here. Oh, I forgot my computer's running like 4 minutes behind on its time. Let's see. Alex, you want to talk about Gar? I love Gar. You're freezing out, Alex. I don't know if you can hear me, but your screen's gone to loading, I'm assuming. You're out. What? There's 2 Alexes now. Huh? Alright. Adding back to stream.
That's what I get you.
Yeah. Let's try this.
Yeah.
That doesn't look good. You what?
Yeah, I'm still cooking now.
Yeah. Tell your bird Cosmo I said hi back, Native Wildman.
Cutting out to that again.
Native Wildman said his bird Cosmo says hi.
Hi back to your bird. Hi back to Cosmo.
I love Gar Native Wildman. There's something about them. I love Gar. Hopefully I'm gonna get wrong way. Alex. Oh, too far. Alex on some Gar soon.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a fun experience when we start gambling if I fall in the water or not.
Yeah. Hey Sandy Toes, I'm doing pretty good. This right here is Alex, the 1919 7A robotics driver. Hopefully I'll see some content with him soon. Hopefully using something a very kind person sent me, Jules catfish bait. Hopefully catching a lot of catfish on it. Why Native? Why wouldn't you use Velcro with cut bait?
I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the voice thing so the stream load you and he can understand you better.
All right. Well, it's back to me being alone. That's all right. If anyone wants to come up, I'll post the link in chat again. If not, here in probably 10-15 minutes, I'll head off. I might stay a little longer if people ask questions about fishing or talk about fishing, or if someone wants to come up and talk about fishing. I'm still pretty sure I got like 4 hours on StreamYard. Wait, no, I got like 3 hours on StreamYard left. My teeth get caught up in the Velcro for gar. I don't like doing that, native. It's the same thing as like the rope lures without any hooks. Hey, Pork Chop's in the live.
What's
Hey,
up?
Jeremy.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
I told you I'd hop on earlier. I was going to be first, but Alex beat me to it.
Alex beat you to it, but that's all right.
Second place ain't bad.
Yeah.
All right, Sandy, now you got one smart and one dumb on here.
The smart ones, I'm still getting used to the stream. Nope, wrong way. This guy.
No. Go the other way.
That's not me.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
It's
I'm
not
still
me.
getting used to that too, and I've been doing it for over a year now.
The smart one's definitely not me.
No, definitely ain't me for sure. What's up, Native?
Yeah, Native's been hanging out like the entire time today. It's been
What is it?
So am I, Sandy.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't know about the smart part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice fly you was tying on earlier. I like that.
Yeah.
I've never got into tying flies. I did tie one time on some long shape gold Aberdeen hooks. I tied some walleye flies for a guy, which
Nice.
those were super easy.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't nothing to it.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but that's the only flies I've actually ever tied.
Yeah, it's shocking how difficult flies can get so fast. It's crazy. But Sandy, at the same time, I don't see you running around saying you're going to fight deer either. Just saying.
Hey, it ain't nothing I ain't never done.
I can't do it according to the law.
The what, jumping on deer?
Yeah.
I did actually. It was about 3 months ago. No, it was about 2 months ago. A deer got hit out beside my house here, and it still had all its running gear on it. But I did jump on it. So, but it was in pretty rough shape. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into any details on what happened after that. But so.
Alex,
I've actually been on a few deer. So,
yeah.
That one there kind of scared me. He had spikes.
Ooh.
Yeah. But
Sandy, that's pretty awesome. She says in her younger days she used to tag sharks. That's pretty cool.
No, thank you.
I mess with sharks all the time.
Teeth.
See ya. Sharks are pretty awesome, Sandy. I catch them somewhat regularly.
Oh, goodness.
I'd like to tag sharks. That'd be cool. But yeah, that counts, Sandy.
Hey. So, yeah, that's, like I said, that's pretty cool to see you tying them flies like that. That's some real tedious work when you get in them small hooks.
Yeah.
Especially incorporating the beads into it.
Yeah, it gets rough.
Like I
Fast.
said, I've never quite tied anything quite like that. So
Yeah. Well, I haven't tied anything right. Thankfully, for what I do, which is bluegill and little bass. They're not picky.
Oh yeah.
They're not like the trout.
Yeah.
You want to talk
Yeah,
about
you're right.
You want to talk about you fishing for crappie? I'm
Yeah.
more up than listen about it. It's not something I do.
All right, hold on just a second. Let me close this door.
All right. Yes, it does seem.
All right, now I can hear a little bit better. I got the road going by out there, trying to get some air in here. So,
Yeah.
but no, I do a pretty good bit of crappie fishing. So,
Nice.
I mean, I've always crappie fished, but sorry, checking out the chat.
It's all
I'm
right.
mainly a bass fisherman. I used to fish a lot of bass tournaments, and did that for many years. And I don't know, kind of just got out of that and went back to crappie fishing a pretty good bit. I still fish a few tournaments, and I still bass fish a lot. But I don't know. I guess it's a lot less of a pace to go crappie fishing than it is bass fishing all the time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a little old tackle box and about 2 rods I take, go crappie fishing. I go bass fishing. I got a huge, big old tub of baits and 6 or 8 rods, and I got to get the boat ready and all that. And crappie fishing ain't near like that.
So for the crappie, do you like have? I guess it'd be like a fish finder, and you just drop down on the structure, or are you sitting on the bank casting to them?
No, I use a anywhere from a 10 to 12 foot crappie rod, and I don't get into real deep water crappie fishing, and so like what you were talking about, looking at a depth finder, finding underwater structure and stuff. I don't really do a whole lot of that, and the lake I live on, I grew up on that lake my entire life, and so what I normally fish is stuff I've been fishing for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of know where everything that I typically would fish would be. So I mean, if there's a log or a tree or a lay down or something, I know what to fish there. Got a lot of cypress trees on my lakes too. So right now the spawn, they're getting pushed up, getting ready to spawn. So I mean, I know where to go to catch them that away, and I do a lot of crappie fishing at night too. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos there. I mean, but I do a lot of live stream crappie fishing at night because it's just, I mean, I'll go and catch anywhere from 50 to 150, and no big fish. I don't ever catch any big fish, but it I don't know. I started doing that, and I mean, I do it every year, but I got thinking about it. It's like, you know what? That makes some good live stream YouTube content. Mm-hmm. I mean, I go out there and steadily catching fish, and it keeps it interesting for everybody, And I had one stream. I know I had to caught over 100. I mean, it was just one right after the other. Now, as far as keeping fish, I didn't keep that many because I mean, you catch a ton of them that big, but.
Yeah.
I mean, about every third fish is a good one. So
That's cool. I jump around too much, so I spend 2 to 3 weeks up in Oklahoma at a place I know has crappie, but I don't know how to find them, and I'm spending only 2 to 3 weeks a year, so I'm only getting minimal knowledge off of it. And even when we're up there, I'm not fishing the lake. I'm fishing streams, creeks. Sometimes I'll go into Missouri. I fished Roaring River. I mean,
but that like I said, the main reason I have such success with crappie fishing is because I've been doing it for years and years and years. So if it was just somebody showing up to a lake, like if I was just to go to a lake and go fishing I've never been on before, I'd have trouble. I mean, there ain't no doubt. So, I mean, I could probably figure them out or whatever, but that's the bass fisherman in me, try to figure them out every day. So, but I don't know. So,
I got
I've got a river system here that I fish a little bit out of, and at times I do really well down there, and I catch big fish down there. But
nice.
I don't know. It depends. So that's basically what it is. So I know they have been catching some giant crappie this year around here. My goodness, they have caught some big ones. So I know our state record got threatened twice about 2 weeks ago. And got a guy, two dudes fishing. They went to a lake around here, and they come in. They went to a certified scale one day, and they had a 360, and that's the number 2 in the state. And then the very next day, the other guy that was in the boat went and caught one, and I think his was a 355. I think it's the number 4 crappie in the state now. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. Crappie Master just had a crappie tournament over on Lake Grenada in Mississippi. You want to talk about some unreal fish? I know cool. I seen 4 4-pounders weighed in that tournament.
That's
one was
crazy.
Like a 4. I know there was a 404, two 420 something. I mean, it's just giant crappie.
That's
but the dude that won that tournament had 14 fish for 44 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, that's unreal. That's unbelievable.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
First one I caught was out of a little drainage ditch on the side of the road. I was going for my 45th species of the year trying to catch a mud minnow.
Yeah.
And I caught like a 6-inch crappie flipping into a pipe. That's been the only crappie I've ever been able to catch.
Oh, hey. I know of a pond, and I'm hoping I'm going to try to get permission for that pond this year. When I was about 16 or 17, I went and fished that pond, which turns out now I wasn't supposed to be fishing it. I thought we had permission then, but that's a whole different deal. But me and a buddy went down and fished it, and it's in the middle of a cow pasture. And it's maybe a 1 acre pond. It's nothing. It's a tiny little old pond. Somebody put crappie in that thing years ago, I guess. And let me tell you, every one we pulled out of that thing was over 2 pounds. It was unbelievable. I know me and him went one afternoon, and we brought home 25. And every one of them was over 2 pounds.
That's crazy. That's bigger than my biggest bass. My biggest bass is like 1.5 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, that lake, the lake I live on, is Lake Normand. It's supposedly number 3 in the nation for crappie. Supposedly.
That's pretty cool.
But so I mean, and it's full of crappie. There ain't no doubt about it. But it seems like the sizes went down. Used to when I was a kid growing up, man, I'd catch 2-pounders all the time. It just that was an average deal. I don't catch them near about like I used to.
Yeah.
But
I remember my grandpa telling me a story. One of the lakes around here, he had a friend who worked in the dam, so they would let him sneak in, and they'd fish inside the dam. And I remember him telling me he caught a crappie out of there that he carried around in a cooler for 4 days, worrying about trying to get it weighed to be the state record. So all that time it's losing juices, it's losing weight.
Yep.
And it came out to be less than an ounce less than the state record when he weighed it.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't remember what the state record was at the time, but I remember him he tells me every time I bring up crappie because he's just so sore about it. Like 30 years later.
Yeah. I mean,
he should have got it scaled instantly.
Yeah, that's state record. That's like a coveted title, you know.
Yeah.
And I know a guy that's actually beat our state record spotted bass, and he even took measurements and the weight of it and threw it back, so it doesn't count. But I think our state record's like a 476 spotted bass, and his was I think 505. And I mean, it was a chunk of a spotted bass.
That's cool.
He threw it back.
Yeah. So for fly fishing, Texas has a category just for
Uh-huh.
fly fishing.
Yeah.
And so, looking at it, I decided, hey, there's some records that aren't up on here I could beat.
Oh,
So I
absolutely.
spent the summer not actually registering fly records,
Yeah.
but going through seeing what I could get. And
Heck
throughout
yeah.
the summer, I got 2 Texas State fly records that if
Oh,
I
that's
had the
awesome.
money to cash in, I could have gotten the Texas State record. It was the Texas Atlantic Bunker and then the Needlefish. Neither of them have a spot open for them in the records because no one's cashed them in. So they're just sitting ducks. So whenever I feel like I've caught one that is big enough that it'll stand for a while,
Heck yeah.
I just got to keep it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, I've looked at those records, like Louisiana state records, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have a fly fishing only type. I know they have a pond, and then they have a public waterway, and I think they have a fly fishing too. But
Oh, dude.
I mean, I want to say that there wasn't much on that fly fishing deal either. So
yeah, it's the same stuff. So like the Texas state record speckled trout was caught on a fly rod.
Yeah,
and it's like 14 pounds or something ridiculous like that. So it's the state fly record for both categories.
Yeah,
the redfish is ridiculously big. The sport fish, which are all sought after on fly rod, are all ridiculously big. And then after that, it just falls completely off, and there's so much open stuff.
So, where about in Texas are you at? Towards the coast?
Galveston County.
Galveston County? Okay, I got you. So,
pretty good place.
No doubt. Yep, that'd be cool to have a few state records under your belt. That'd definitely be cool. So
I'm not sure how many I want to log before I just flat stop.
Yeah.
Because killing a fish just for a state record is just, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it would be so cool to have a state record fish, but at the same time, needlefish, I'm not going to use for bait.
Yeah. So I've actually laid eyes on I'm almost positive a state record crappie. But I couldn't get that thing to bite nothing.
That's cool.
I went out fishing one night, and it was an underwater light, the green monster light or whatever, and it was swimming around it. I couldn't get that joker to hit nothing, but it was freakishly big crappie.
That's cool.
I thought it was a drum when it come up. I mean, when I first seen it, I was like, that's got to be a drum,
That's cool.
And when it finally come up to the surface of the water and it turned, I could see it speckled up. I said, holy cow. I did not realize a crappie would ever get that big.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unreal.
That's cool. I've got to go. It's dinner time.
All right, man.
I'm sorry to call this short on y'all, but...
Oh, you're good. I appreciate you having me up here.
I'm glad you were able to come up. You made this last another 20 minutes longer than I was going to make it go. People like you definitely helped us go. Yeah. All right. See you.
All right, brother. Well, have a good one.
Bye.